Hello? 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 What is going on? My videos have not been, I don't know what's going on, you guys. Your channel. Hello? I don't know why this is frozen. If I, not now. This is frozen. Okay. There we go. So thanks for coming to Larger Curves today. Make sure you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. If you haven't already, go ahead and ring the bell so we can get notified when I upload videos and so you can become part of the beautiful curvy community that we're growing over here in the YouTube streets. Thanks for coming again. Now I am starting a little late. I had a little technical difficulty. Well, actually, I had ordered this blue spirulina. Okay, you guys, I ordered blue spirulina and it's the latest craze. It's that blue water everybody's been talking about to lose weight. If you haven't heard, now you know. And you can take this blue spirulina and you can mix it with lemon and something else, and it's supposed to really act like a something to improve weight loss and stuff like that. So me and my mom researched it, and they were like, they wanted $1,000 for this stuff you put in water, you guys. So we were like, there has to be some, what is this? What is it? So you know what we did? We went to Chat GPT and we asked what the blue water was, what the blue water for weight loss was. And it told us right there that it's simply blue spirulina and you can mix it with this, this, and that. But the reason blue spirulina is so good, you guys, research it yourself, like I always say. 90 grams of protein per teaspoon. That's incredible protein. Okay. So you put this in your water and you have enough protein for the rest of the day. You're not hungry. And you know, protein is what really carries your brain power and your muscle power out. And if anybody's doing any of the GLP inhibitors, then you're supposed to be high protein. And if you're doing keto, then you're supposed to be high protein. So this blue spirulina works for everything. So anyway, me and my mom find it, and we found one, the only one with a certificate of authentication, of authenticity, and a certificate of organic, certifying their organicness, was made from Japan, even though it said the best one is from Hawaii, but that's the one that's like thousands of dollars. So anyway, we were able to order, we were able to order 1 ounce for $20, you guys. Now, anybody who knows anything about nightlife knows that you're not paying $20 for nothing that's not making you happy. So $20 an ounce is what is happening. Now, I'm not sure why that's not playing again. What happened? See, it's playing on my side, but it's not playing on this side. Can you still hear me? I didn't ask it to stop playing. And on my thing, I still see it. But on your guys' screen, you guys just see me. That is so weird. Oh my gosh. Oh, you guys. So let's just get at this book. Now I'm frozen on your screen. This is not a still image of me. I have no idea why this is still. And if I refresh, then it's going to make me start all over again. So I'm going to ask it to share again. There. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about the power of zero. There. Did it switch yet? Okay. So I can't show you exactly where I'm reading from in the book, but if you had a chance to order it or you get a chance to order it, yesterday we went over the foreword and we jumped straight to the three buckets of money. I mean, the three tax buckets. And then we left off on LRP, life insurance, real retirement plans. So let's look. So we did the taxable bucket. Just a quick recap. The taxable bucket is assets that are taxed now, like your CDs, your savings accounts, and like that. And then we have tax deferred bucket, which is your 401k, your Roths, and things like that. And then we have tax advantage, or what we like to call tax free. Okay. There we go. Let's pause it there. So you can see here, there's a taxable, tax now, tax deferred, tax later, and tax free, taxed never. Now, what we're going to show you with this book, The Power of Zero, is how to get to that taxed never bucket. And not only is there a way for you to grow cash and not have taxes on your gains, but there's a way for you to get access to that cash without taxes on the distribution either. And that's what this book, The Power of Zero, goes into. So we left off on LRP, and that is on page, it's a very short book. We're only going to do a half hour a day. So we'll be here till like 12:35 today because I was 5 minutes late because of the technical difficulties. So we are on chapter 5, LRP, which starts on page 53. And this is already, oh, you know what? I didn't really go over in detail the IRAs and things like that, but we don't have to. We're just going to start at the LRP because the LRP is how you get to that tax me never bucket. Okay. So these types of, notwithstanding your best efforts to reposition assets into tax-free accounts by traditional means, sometimes it's just not enough. The tax-free alternatives that we've discussed up to this point have constraints and may only have a limited impact on your efforts to get to the 100% tax bracket. To compensate for these limitations, it is necessary to avail yourself to another tool in your efforts to achieve this tax-free retirement. Now we're reading from page 53 of The Power of Zero. And the tax-free retirement, the life insurance retirement plan, or LRP, is what we're reading about. LIRP. And it is accumulation tool that shares the tax-free attributes of a traditional retirement account, such as your Roth IRA. Not only are the distributions truly tax-free, but they also don't contribute to the provisional income threshold that triggered taxation on Social Security benefits. Now, you guys might remember on Sunday when I first brought this up, because for the Power of Zero, Social Security is taxable if you have already set up your 401k, your Roth IRA, and you'll be receiving those additional funds during your retirement in addition to your Social Security. There's a threshold you guys will have to be aware of, because when you meet that threshold, you guys, so all the money you get out of your Roth IRA is tax-free, right? But when you get your Social Security, that's supposed to be tax-free too. But if you get both, then your Social Security becomes taxable up to how much, you guys? 80% of your Social Security can become taxable. It will trigger a taxable event. Let's get back to reading. The LRRP has additional characteristics that make it surprisingly effective in helping you reach 0% tax retirement. A LRRP is essentially a life insurance policy that is specifically designed to maximize the accumulation of cash within the policy's growth account. To accomplish this, you turn on the traditional approach of life insurance on its ear. Can you guys hear me okay? Can you guys hear me okay? Perfect. Okay, it sounds like you can. So it's essentially a life insurance policy, and it maximizes the accumulation of cash in the policy's growth account. Now, there are three stages of your money. There's the accumulation, the distribution, and let me see, there's another phase. I have it right here. Sorry, you guys. So there's accumulation phase, a protection phase, and a distribution phase. Okay. And so we're talking about the accumulation because that means growth. Okay. So it accomplishes accumulation by turning on traditional approach of life insurance on its ear. Conventional wisdom says that when purchasing life insurance, you should purchase as much life insurance as necessary. However, with a LRRP, a life insurance retirement plan, you're buying as little insurance as possible, and while simultaneously stuffing it with as much money as the IRS allows. So you can grow that money tax-free, you guys, because it's attached to life insurance. Isn't that beautiful? But with the LRRP, there are no contribution limits. With your Roth IRA, there are contribution limits, such as you can't contribute more than, like in 2018, you could contribute $5,500 was the cap. So they cap you on how much you can save and then tax you on the rest. So trying to get yourself planned out to a tax-free place is excellent. Yeah, nothing's coming up on my screen. Let me see. Oh, happy Tuesday, Curvies. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're ready for a good show. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and share this channel, you guys. We're not talking about gossip and mess today. We are talking about some good stuff, though. So no need to worry. I'm still keeping you guys informed with great stuff. So again, getting back to the LRRP, there's no contribution limits like you have in your Roth IRA. There are no income limits. So if you find yourself in a Roth and discovered that your Roth IRA had a non-deductible option, that would be incredible. IRS poses no income limitations on a LRRP. So that means you can stuff it with as much money as you want. It should come as no surprise that about 85% of CEOs of Fortune 500 companies use life insurance. The Fortune 500 companies use life insurance retirement plans to grow their money, you guys, because it grows tax-free and there's no freaking limit on how much you can grow. There's no legislative because tax-free accounts cost the government billions of dollars per year. However, the history serves as a model. The LRRP will be immune from the impact of tax law changes. It's been around since 1913, you guys, and has not changed much. Some life insurance policies allow for nearly unlimited tax-free savings under the simplified income tax plan. The increase of value in the policies would be treated as current income, you guys, and therefore would be subject to tax on an annual basis, just like a savings account. But in your LRRP, if you saved $1 million, you're not getting taxed on that at the end of the year. If you distribute some of that $1 million to live off of, you're not getting taxed on that. Okay. Now, at first glance, it seems like the death knell for the LRGA, right? But no. Annuities, life insurance arrangements, are deferred compensation plans that currently are in existence, and they'll continue to get taxed under the current law rules. Okay. Now, there are multiple accumulation strategies within the LRGA. You can have, are we good on time? Where's my time? Yeah, we have 10 minutes left. So you can have insurance company investment portfolio. So you can opt out. You can opt to grow your money within a general investment portfolio. Um, there are other accounts like that do that. So, and because the insurance are the administrators of the program. Now, because insurance companies are in the business of managing risk, these types of returns tend to be conservative but consistent. Okay. And then we have direct stock market strategy. And there you can pass your contributions through your insurance company to a mutual fund portfolio called a sub account. Now, mutual funds do deal in with the stock market. So that's why it's there. Now, this approach can provide much higher returns, but the risk also is higher. It does expose you to the impact of severe market declines. Part of why I love what's next is the indexed account is because you get the best of all the worlds, okay? In an indexed account for an accumulation strategy, you can contribute dollars to an accumulation account whose growth is linked to an upward movement like the stock market or the S&P 500, and you can participate in the growth up to your cap between 12 and 13%. However, on the flip side, if the index ever lost money, the account is credited zero, but you don't lose. Let's say it lost 10,000. You don't lose 10,000. You just get a zero right there. Okay. So that's why zero is your hero, and there's a power in zero, so that never actually goes down in value. There's also a balanced approach that you need to look at with the tax-free investing. To many, the LRRP sounds like a perfect tax-free retirement tool. Why not put all your money into a LRRP? Some might ask. For starters, it's never a good idea to have all your eggs in one basket. We always talk over here about diversification. So yeah, you'll want a LRRP, you want a 401k, you want your Roth, you want a savings account, you want a CD, you want some gold, you want some silver, you need some crypto, you want your real estate. You know what I'm saying? So you just want to be able to have as many streams of income as possible. And the LRRP is just one option, you guys. The life insurance retirement plan that we're reading over in The Power of Zero, LRRP chapter, page 53. Okay. Okay, so life insurance as long-term care is doing double duty these days. Many states are going to mandate what's called long-term care insurance. Now, you might remember when Obama was in office, they made that rule that that everybody had to have insurance, and that's why they came up with Obamacare, so that even the people that couldn't afford it could have Obamacare. And if you don't have it, then at the end of the year, when you file your taxes, then they can ding you and you can have some type of penalty on your taxes if you're not insured properly. Well, they're also looking at making long-term care insurance mandatory, you guys, and jobs will soon be offering you some type of long-term care insurance through them, and you will not be able to opt out unless you have your own. Even if you get your own after the company gets it, there's this trigger that's going to happen. So you guys just do your research and look up long-term care and see what your state is going to mandate on that, because it's definitely coming down the pike. Okay. Now, the costs of LRRP are very good to have. So that just switched to there again, but on my side. I don't know why this picture is frozen like that, you guys. I'm over here talking, but this thing is not. Okay. So the true cost of a LRRP, because the LRRP can seem novel or unfamiliar, many thoughtful and proactive investors are researching it before incorporating it into their well-balanced, tax-free approach to retirement. In the course of their research, investors are invariably drawn to third-party critiques on the internet offered by independent financial gurus. Now, look, I was even succumbed to that when I got into this industry of financial services. What, going on 3 years ago now? It interested me too. Like I was looking everywhere for the policy that Waka Flocka said he never uses any of his own money. He just uses his life insurance policy as collateral for all purchases and major things that he wants to do. And I was like, oh, I want to sell that. I want some of that, right? And then I heard about the Rockefellers getting their insurance to be able to create generational wealth and have set up their family bank and make $1 million babies. I was like, I want some of that. And but when I went to look for it and do my due diligence, like I'm always saying you should do, I did get bombarded with so many negative things about these high cash value life insurance policies. It was like they were the plague. Okay. But now that I'm a financial professional who's licensed in my state, who has set, I have 9 states that I'm currently licensed in. I had to have my fingerprints done. I'm registered with the DOJ, and I have to have errors and omissions insurance. I mean, this is a real deal. But the way that it reads and researches is like this is some kind of Ponzi scheme fluke. Do you guys know of any Ponzi scheme that required somebody to get licensed in the fingerprints at the DOJ? No, you don't, because that's not what criminals are willing to do. And a Ponzi scheme is a crime. In life insurance, you need a you have a fiduciary responsibility, much like as a real estate agent, and you can get in trouble for leading people down the wrong path. So this is really interesting that the research would suggest that this is anything but magnificent. You just have to do your research, see what you're comfortable with, and then go for it. Also, what I feel like with finding out these types of information and accounts is that everybody knows about 401ks, everybody knows about CDs, everybody knows about your savings account, everybody knows about CDs, everybody knows about your savings account, everyone knows about the stock market. Isn't that interesting that we all know about those things that lose us money and keep us in the cycle of trying to save pennies and get taxed on your pennies? When in reality, there's been a life insurance retirement plan option since 1913 that has been utilized by the ultra wealthy for hundreds of years. And so that we all have the same information. Okay. And you might even talk to your accountant. I've met with clients and their accountants because they're like their accountant's like, oh, this is a scam. You don't want to do this. Da, da, da. And then we meet with the accountant, the CPA, and show them this, and their mind is blown, and they end up getting an account too because it's basically like you've been lied to. Basically, like we've been lied to, you guys. 401ks are an option. It's not the best option. And if you go back to the Time article about how 401ks, the man who invented 401ks was like, it was the worst thing he ever did and they need to be stopped. And that Time article came out over a decade ago. And now we're in 2024 and people have still been stuffing those for 10 years. And they could have been stuffing these LERPs, you guys. They could have been stuffing these LERPs. So we're about to close up here with the LERP chapter. Here it is. Historically, the LRGA has been reserved for the wealthiest segment of American population, because they're the ones that know and have access to this information and ask the extra question, right? So, and they don't just get their noses led around to them, right? Like, I don't know any millionaires that just listen to what people say without doing it of their own accord. You know what I mean? They're not sheeple, put it that way. And I feel like a lot of us get caught up in the sheeple of it all and rely on 401ks and stuff like that when there's these other options. So this is page 64 on why you haven't heard of alert. and then we'll finish up this chapter before my battery dies in my computer. Historically, the LRRP has been reserved for the wealthy segment of America's population. As already mentioned, about 85% of CEOs of Fortune 500 companies utilize LRRPs, as do quite a few members of Congress. In the past, LRRPs were weighed down with large expenses and provisions that made distributions difficult and costly. It was a great way to pass tax-free money on to the next generation, but it was an inefficient retirement tool. It wasn't until recently that companies began to re-engineer these programs to mimic a Roth IRA. So we've been calling them a hybrid, the new insurance and stuff like that, because they took things and they took the Roth IRA and they put it with whole life insurance and popped out with the LRRP. Okay. Now, they knew that if they could restructure the LRRP and capture the tax-free qualities of a Roth IRA in a low-cost way, it would benefit everyday investors. So that's what they had to work on. And now we're hearing about it. The tax-free bucket, the ideal balance. Now that we know that the LRRP and other tax-free alternatives exist, how much should you allocate to your tax-free bucket? To understand this, it's useful to review the ideal balances for both the taxable and tax-deferred accounts. The taxable bucket should have roughly 6 months of income to protect against unexpected emergencies in your life. The balance in your tax-deferred bucket should be low enough that your RMDs, or required minimum distributions that start at age 70 and a half, are equal to or less than your standard deduction for that year. So you see how there's a whole math that's going to have to happen for your retirement plan. Any dollar amount above that ideal balance should be shifted to the tax-free bucket. Okay, so any contributions that are currently earmarked for the first two buckets need to be reevaluated according to the guidelines discussed. For example, if you already have 6 months worth of income in your taxable bucket and you're still making contributions on a monthly basis, then you should redirect those dollars to your tax-free bucket, because you're good over there on the emergency side, and that money could be compounding for you at an exponential rate. Now, Roth IRAs and LRRPs can be useful investment tools for doing that thing. Finally, we're going to wrap it up and saying that, again, a tax-free retirement specialist can help you analyze your first two buckets and make recommendations for shifting assets to your tax-free buckets. Like I said, I am a licensed professional. I have my license in 9 states right now, and I help people look at where their assets are. Hi, Linnell. Thanks for coming through. I help people look at where their assets are and help people realize that if you are set on your emergency, if you're matching what your employer did in your deferred, and you have some extra that you want to put away, then let's LRRP it out. So that you can get these 12% returns on average in a compounding account where your accumulation is tax-free, where your distribution is tax-free. Okay, so that's where we are today. Tomorrow we're going to meet back again at noon on the dot this time, and we'll go over the power of zero. The next chapter we'll be looking at is, where's the chapters before my computer pops off? So the next chapter for tomorrow is the tax sale of a lifetime. It's going to be chapter 6, page 67, and we'll be looking at that tomorrow. So thanks again for coming through to LRGA Curves. Thank you, Bianca. You rock. I love you, girl. Thank you, Linnell. Thanks for coming through, you guys. And any other Curvies that happen to see it, make sure you smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, and ring the bell on your way in or out. I see I only got 2 likes. There's 5 people in here. If somebody could smash a button, that would be great. Okay. And I tried to go live from this way this time because I was sure that freaking YouTube would feed us some more people, but maybe this subject just isn't YouTube worthy and they only want the mess. But hey, I'm trying to get us to the millions, just like my good, wonderful TV friend, Dr. Heavenly. Anyway, you guys, oh, did you see Carlos King did finally address the Kiki Jabbar passing situation on Messy Mondays yesterday? Look at my videos that I posted yesterday because I have the whole thing up. And he talks about why he waited. He talks about Kiki, and he talks about the aftermath of Kiki Jabbar's passing from Love and Marriage Huntsville. Anyway, that was the power of zero. Oh, see, we're sisters from other misters, Bianca. We got to meet in real life. I just can't even wait. I'm gonna have to, when I finally get my stuff together, I'm gonna go on a world tour and go meet all my Curvies from around the world, and we're gonna have a great, fabulous time and do all the things that Curvies can do. Okay. In the meantime, remember what I always say, you guys. There's enough to go around, so go get some, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for coming.